Today, the Pentagon announced the members of a commission that will investigate sexual assault and harassment in the military. In a moment, I'll speak with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who's been at the forefront of this issue. But first, Nick Schifrin reports on how sexual assault and harassment infect the military's most prominent divisions and what the leadership of that corps is trying to do about it.
The 18th Airborne Corps is one of the Army's premier forces, and from Afghanistan to Iraq, portrays itself as flying through the air, attacking through the night, always ready to fight. But according to a document obtained by PBS NewsHour, the Corps and some of its bases have also been fighting some of the Army's highest levels of sexual assault and harassment.
If we can't keep our soldiers safe, how can you expect our soldiers to keep our country safe?
Staff Sergeant Shamika Dudley is a Russian linguist with a Fort Bragg-based military intelligence brigade.
We can get the soldiers more engaged into the
She recently presented her suggestions to combat sexual assault to her commanders at an event they called Dragon's Lair, an unusual effort to hear soldiers' solutions. Dudley says the problems begin with inadequate training.
It's always the same PowerPoint slides. I've been in for 10 years. I could say I've probably been to 15 to 20 trainings. I will say I've probably seen a total of 4 different slide decks. It's ridiculous.
37% of our cases were NCOs and officers.
And the training sessions like this one are held in a room with hundreds of soldiers.
How are you going to get 500 people to pay attention? You can't. Half of them are on their phone. The other half is talking with the person beside them. And it's just not getting through. They're like, oh, we just got to do this training.
Dudley's solution, training soldiers like they're sometimes trained for combat, with virtual reality, where soldiers are immersed, focused, and able to go through scenarios. Assault and harassment scenario training could train soldiers how to act and respond.
Most kids already have a virtual reality headset or some kind of a VR game. So it's just why not just tap onto something that people are already using to put soldiers in the shoes of another individual. I want to do whatever I can to make a change for the Army, because I'm going to be here for at least another 10 years. So why not make a change while I'm here?
I never had dealt with sexual assault in the Army before this.
Sergeant Taylor Canuvin also presented her solutions, born of personal experience.
I had not been sexually assaulted in the military up until last year. And then when that happened, it totally changed my perspective on just how toxic the environment can be.
Canuvin is assigned to the 101st Airborne Division. She says she was assaulted while at the U.S. border as part of President Trump's military deployment by a soldier 2 ranks above her. He then assaulted a female officer, but despite a recommendation to kick him out, a panel known as the Separation Board decided to retain him.
I was sitting outside the Separation Board before I testified, looking at a poster that says in big bold letters, "Not in our Army." So for them to retain him says yes, in our Army. And I think for any of his soldiers or peers that were loyal to him during the process, I think that they hear the same message that, look, he got away with it. So it does happen in our Army, and it's probably going to continue to happen in our Army.
Advocates have called for the military to reform the Uniform Code of Military Justice and change the separation boards.
The Separation Board was comprised of 3 people, and they were all 3 males, all senior military leaders. So one, I thought, okay, maybe we shouldn't have senior military leaders that, whether they intend to be biased or not, undoubtedly have some bias to protect their own.
In a statement, a spokesman for the 18th Airborne Corps, which includes the storied 101st, 82nd Airborne, and 10th Mountain Division, says it's already made changes and suggested them to the wider Army. Separation boards will have members of the alleged victim's gender. Sexual harassment, assault response, and prevention officials will not report to soldiers' direct commanders, and some training will now be virtual reality.
This is about accountability for perpetrators. It is about justice and healing for survivors.
Today, the head of a new independent Pentagon commission examining solutions unveiled its members. And on Capitol Hill, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand led a hearing with survivors and their advocates and said military justice currently reserved for commanders was in the wrong hands.
Every general or commander that has come in front of this body for the past 10 years has told us, we've got this, ma'am, we've got this. Well, the truth is they don't have it.
Knuvin hopes the publicity and the 18th Airborne Corps soliciting ideas leads to real change and isn't just a PR effort.
I want to know that it was more than just, turning in their homework assignment to their boss, that it was, no, we really do care